Welcome to this module on the Mesopotamia and the significance of urbanism. As we promised in the previous section, we are going to explore what is the significance of urbanism. The cities and the towns are not just the places with a large population. It is when an economy develops in the spheres other than food production, then that becomes the advantage for the people to cluster in towns. So the criteria for the cities or towns is not just the population. We cannot call a largely crowded place as a city or a town, but we also take into consideration the economy of the place. When you look into the economy should not come only from the food production, that is the agriculture. It should also come from the other spheres other than the agriculture, so that it becomes an advantage for the people those who are living in the towns and the cities. That is the first significant factor for urbanization. The urban economies comprise, besides the food production, they have trade, they have manufactures, they have services. City people thus cease to be self-sufficient and depend on the products or services of other people, city or village. So the second important factor is that apart from the food production, the urban economy also depends on trade, manufacturing, and the other service oriented businesses. That is the reason why the people of the city are self-sufficient and depend on products or services for the other people. So the second important factor about the urbanization is that it should have main economy dependent not only on the food production. Besides food production, it should have the trade, the manufacturing, and the other services available in the cities or the urban economy. For instance, let us explore this one through an example. The carver of a stone seal requires bronze tools that he himself cannot make. To make a stone seal, he needs the bronze tools. Who will make the stone steel? The carver. But in order to make this one, he needs the bronze tools where he cannot make them by himself. At the same time, the colored stones of the seal that he does not know where to get. And if the stones are to be colored ones, he does not know from where to get them. So here, his specialization is only carving, not trading, not to go and buy the stones, not to go and take or make the bronze tools. He is an expert specialized in making the carving, not the trading. So the bronze tool maker does not make himself go out to get the metals, copper or tin. Besides, he needs the regular supplies of charcoal for fuel, and this marks the division of labor of the urban life. As we have seen the carver's example, the carver is a skilled person in carving. He does not know marketing. He does not know trade. So he needs to be ensured that he gets the regular supply of the metals, copper, tin, color stones, so that he can use them and make the carving. He is not a specialized person in marketing or trade. He is only a specialized person or a skilled person in making the carving. Now here we have different people to bring the metals, copper, color stones, and supply it to him, and from here they take it for marketing and they do the trade. So this division of labor is a mark of the urban life. So how do we decide that these areas are urban centers? Is the first factor. It should have the production other than the food production. They should have trade, manufacturing, and commerce activity based on service. Second thing, there should be division of labor, as we have seen the example of the carbon. So these two are the significant features of urbanism. Stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next section.